Okay, so here's part B. Let's go ahead and talk about this part here, where it says, and I totally concur, Michael Harriet. Before you begin your think piece, the Supreme Court did not strike down affirmative action. Admission preferences for legacies, donors, employee families, and special recommendations are still allowed. The court struck down affirmative action for everyone except white people. Why do you think people give millions of dollars to have their name on a hospital wing, to have their name on buildings? It's an understanding. If they're, let's say it's a hospital wing, if they're in need of medical services, they're going to be placed at the very top. People, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Legacies, you've seen it. Oh, this person's grandfather went here and their great grandfather and then their father. So they're going to go there. That's affirmative action. The person may be dumb as a rock. They're still going to go there. What grade did Bush, what was it? George Bush, was he like a C student? Hey, keep hope alive. A C student became president. That's my understanding. He was a C student based on, I believe, that movie or documentary that I saw. C student became president. So, connections, donors. A donor's not giving you money just to give, so everyone else's kid can go there and theirs can't. No, it's guaranteed. Employee families. And special recommendations are still allowed. So people in power. This here is just affirmative action for Black people. I keep telling you things are changing rapidly. I keep telling you. While a lot of us are sitting up here, girl, oh man, you see OnlyFans, yeah. Sitting up here, wrapped up in just doing my little job, and then the rest is all fun and folly. I keep telling you, while a lot of our people are doing that, news flash, boo-boo, news flash for you. Guess what? Other people are sitting up planning. And here's the thing about it. This is a good example. They're making plans about us, about you. The white man that's lazily behind this and using the Asian students to be enforced, they said he's been trying for years to try to keep us out. Been trying for years. It ain't the first try. You see? So while we sitting up here laughing and just kicking, other folk are they're not just watching Investigation ID, streaming, cable TV. They're up planning. They are dedicated to their cause. What are we dedicated to? We don't even have the basis down of family and then having a community where, oh, I don't know, you actually have Black businesses that can people can patronize, like you patronize the Asian stores, okay? Like you patronize them in the neighborhood. The BC's full of them. Like we can't breathe without her and weave. The guy was dedicated to it. And look, finito, touchdown. Knocked out of bounds. And I'm not sports oriented, so I think that means like getting you out of bounds. It's not going to count. So I'm not sports oriented. I know touchdown means a good thing. It's like a win. You know, it's like, oh, they score some points. But I think the out of bounds part doesn't count. But you get what I'm saying? It's not the first time the guy tried it. It won't. It finally worked. Finally worked. You think he came up with this like maybe 2 days ago? You think so? 2 days ago? 2 weeks ago? Of course not. And found a new face to be in front of it. Mr. Wong-san. Mr. Wong. Mr. Wong. The same ones that you all make rich. A friend of mine, we just keep it real. Sometimes my filter is off. And I'm not so kind and understanding. My husband tells me, my word choice. How will I label it? I'm going to label it as the fools of America. The same ones that you help make rich, because we can't do that for each other. They turn around and pull a switch They're the face of your affirmative action being knocked down. And see, the sad thing is about it, a lot of our people in the hood don't really care. It's like, you are really stupid. Some black people that get it care, but some people in the hood, well, I'm not going, can't think about the collective as a group, your group. Sure, I get mad and say something, I don't care. I don't care. I'm just mad for the moment. I do, because that's why I'm trying to sound the alarm. Get into my feelings. But yeah, I told a friend, I said, the fools of America. You're sitting around here hating on each other, and it ain't just black men, it's black women too, honey. You got to wear them old dusty ass boots too. You sit around here hating on each other, trying to pull the black person down. We such on haterade, crabs in a barrel. Well, your ass gonna find yourself, honey, stuck in a barrel. Can't nobody get out. But we love to help everybody else build. I thought about it. That's why I did the video on Patreon. Malcolm, I gotta take this L. How much money do you really think that all this is done for free? The legal fees, the filings, the motions, really? They said, I read a report on that. The white man behind it, using Asian students, he been trying, it just didn't work. The little racist, that's how I see it, in my opinion, the racist engine that could, and he finally succeeded. Use the Asians now, put them out front. But he's the same guy behind it. But they said for him it didn't work. What part about being wiped out and you don't understand? So, if the ones at the bottom and you're poor and suffering and working class, the middle class pretty much been wiped out across the board for everybody. The ones that are poor and working class, AI coming, and the immigrants, so they'll take those jobs. As my friend said at the VC, what was that? I'll never forget, March 2020, they're going to be wiped out. I'm like, what's going to happen to black people? They're going to be wiped out. What did he say? Decimated. So let's look at the picture here. But keep in mind, you can't. This group is so emotional, and you don't want to listen to a different point of view. That ain't what my mama said. My daddy said. Well, let me tell you something. They ain't said much, because guess what? You're still at the bottom. What your mama and your daddy said, that ain't working. Oh, I'm gonna pray about it. Well, you do more than that. Then I went to the Supreme Court about it. That's really, I'm gonna pray about it. That's just the code for I ain't gonna do a darn thing. But that's what I'm gonna say to save face. Like, I'm a person of faith and I'm gonna pray about it. Well, how about you not go to work for 2 weeks? 2 weeks? No, 1 week. Don't call in, Bill. No call, no show, and just pray about it. See what's gonna happen. See, I'm gonna pray about it. That's an excuse. Call, I ain't gonna do nothing. But I want to say something to save face. I'm gonna put on this phony face of faith. I'm gonna pray about it. Well, you good luck with that prayer. You got to also get some action work. So this right here, do you not see? You can't be this dumb. Nobody can be this slow. Sometimes we don't want to face things. If the poor and working class, I coming for your job, and the illegal immigrant, then the ones at the top, the educated, well, you finna be chopped down. Chop, 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 chop. You finna be chopped down. What do you see happening, boo? You're going to catch from the top to the bottom. Squeezed. And if you have a can, let's take a can and stomp your foot on it, a soda can. Squeeze that soda can. Well, it's no good. But we busy building for everybody else. So yeah, mission preferences, that's affirmative action. Legacies. Oh, well, he has to come. And Peter might be dumb as a rock, but he has to come here. Come on, he has to come here. His grandfather went here. Now, let's move on to the next point I want to make. Justice Koon Thomas. That's how I see him. Affirmative action puts some students in environments where they are less likely to succeed. He has said some crazy stuff like this before. He really has. Doing the Anita Hill, when I saw that documentary, doing the Anita Hill hearings, he was trying to turn affirmative action down, and that's where Dyson got the statement. The same ladder, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, for my apologies, I think it was Orrin Hatch, but one of them has said the same ladder, talking to Clarence Thomas, the same ladder that you used, and he was in some poor bootleg rural town, growing up black and poor. I remember seeing his mom in her little frame house sitting on the porch. The same ladder that he used to pull up, he wants to tear it down. That came from those Senate hearings. So that's where he got this from, Dyson. The same ladder. And that's what they said about Clarence Thomas. Guess what? He's doing what most black men do. Tear down their own. You think? Look what they do when they get rich, run every other community. Even if that's your preference, you can't do anything for black people that are trying to achieve something. You can't write the check for the HBC. You can't do anything. They're useless. That's why I don't mind them bringing themselves out. Hell, I wish you could fast forward that crap. You're useless anyway to the neighborhood. You're only a liability in the collective. Just a liability, how they operate. So again, he's doing what most black men do. He's in a good position. Self-hating is how I see him. Married to that hard-looking ass Becky, but look at him, child. Whew, that dude been hard on the eye. I'm sorry, Lord have mercy, child. But he's doing what most black men do. They don't build up their own community. They marry outside the group when they get some money, and that's where the money is funneled to. Look at those black women did the video months ago. That video trying to start the businesses in the black community. And who was standing in the way? The black man, not the white man. It was a black man. Who was standing in the way? The black man of those businesses. And then, of course, one says she sold hers. So pretty much standing in the way of black women entrepreneurship, a black man was the one who was standing in the way, who stopped it. All you need is a letter saying, hey, they're going to do business here. It's okay. Everything else done. Money wasted. Who stopped, black man? Who's cleaning out the women and children? The white man? No, black man in the BC. So affirmative action. Justice Thomas, that Negro grew up poor from what I saw. Backwoods rural poor. He used affirmative action to get to where he is, and that's why they made that statement. This is decades ago, whenever that Anita Hill hearings took place. The same ladder you used to climb, you want to tear down. That's what black men do. They are so self-hating. They hate their own. And then this old thing, they try to align themselves with the white man. Honey, look here. He mighty dark. Not that it matters. You ain't gonna never align yourself with a white man. Put one side by side. It's gonna be a different. We're gonna see the contrast. But I think also, I want to talk about your skin color. You're a dark person. Why? You have, in my opinion, a very dark heart. Dark, sinister towards your own. Dark person. That's how I see it. Dark and sinister towards your own. You mean no goodwill. Whatever that thing is beating inside of you, I see it as very dark and sinister. But only towards your own people. But not towards Zaddy. He's doing what most black men do. Try to align themselves with Zaddy. Boo boo. They see you. OJ, I think, tried that too. Not many had his side because Nicole ended up gone. And Ron Goldman. Who was driving the Bronco? It wasn't Peter and Brandon. I know it was, I think, his friend. Was it A.T. Green? No, I'm sorry. That's a different guy. My bad. That's another sports guy. But it was a black man driving the Bronco. Where was Zad and them at? You don't allegedly kill Nicole, so they say. But yeah, Clarence Thomas is doing exactly what black men always do. Get some money and then kick that ladder down. So again, the white man that's put the agencies up front, he's been trying to do this, and wow, he got a hell of a victory. Meanwhile, we are trying to, and I thought about it when I told my friend about that statement. I said, the fools of America. The same one, as I said before on the Patreon, the same one you sitting up here patronizing that's making them rich. Oh, yeah. I ain't got time for no black business. I ain't in the black business. You look like a darn fool. If the shoe was on the other foot, I can tell you what they would do, which we know that would never happen. But if the shoe was on the other foot, those stores wouldn't have no customers today. And see, they're slick now. They think they're slick. You can go in there and you might see all black behind the counter, everything. Guess what? They're already onto it. They want to give the illusion of a black business. I don't see no Asian people. Ask the lady that worked there. I thought that too one time. I asked a girl a question. I said, oh, I see what they're doing. You own this store? No, they know how to stay back. But they're gonna watch their money. They're gonna watch their money because you know what they'll do? They'll be in the back room and have a videotape and the camera just sitting back there watching. So they're there, staying out of sight. How much money do you think from the hood could have been utilized? They donate to their causes. So now do you not see what's going on? Black people, you have no friends. You have no friends. You have no friends. And at this point, you get what you get. I keep telling you, while you're sitting up chilling, again, I told you before, I was like, oh my gosh, people that are about making things and stuff happens, the higher you can get, you see people, see how they move. Ain't nobody talking about it's only 9 to 5. If it's something major going on, oh, they're gonna be on that phone. 9 o'clock, they'll be up in the wee hours having business meetings. I got to get my sleep. Everybody's working. What are we doing? Just standing by, letting stuff happen to us. And make sure we tear down somebody that looks like us that has something. That's what I see the BC doing. And you're going to regret it. I'm going to close with this. Dr. Claude Anderson, he said before, you see a black business, you better run to and patronize them. This is what he's talking about, dumb-dumbs, for the ones who don't get it. And I wonder, you sure can, because you know what's going to happen? You're being squeezed out of life. And I am very emotional about this. Squeezed out of life. And I'm not talking about me individually. Kind of made some hella plans. Maybe sometimes a husband that's a provider can really be a good thing for you. Oh, we don't want to hear about no family. We don't have to base this down. So we can't even relate to this kind of planning. Don't even have to base this down on a family. We think, and we just going to have a single parent, had his men creating his fatherless homes, and he just gone. They've been doing it. This group, I'm telling you, it's been time to press the panic alarm. It's been time to press that darn button. Been time to press the button. Things are happening so fast, and then before you know it, everything is changing. You on the outside looking in. What is we gonna do? More than likely, for many, don't wake up and don't get it. It's a little late to start planning, because other folks have been planning and working. See, it'll be a box up, a fuss up, just trying to plan. What's gonna happen? There's no way to put it. You've heard of price out of life due to the rent. Then what the heck you gonna do price out of life when you've been shut out of institutions of higher learning that are highly recognized, open up a door for you, shut out of jobs? And this is the thing. This is only the beginning. Well, they're gonna go on to the HBCUs, and I can tell you, I hate to say this, I've spoken with people that have attended HBCUs. Some companies, where they're paying a lot of money, guess what? Unless it's a non-black person, they don't want to hire from HBCU. And if they do, you know what I've been told? They'll hire you at a lower position and lower pay just because you're black and went to a HBCU. But guess what? You think those foreigners going to a HBCU are going to have their problem? Of course not. This is just the beginning. One more time in closing, for real this time. If at the bottom you got the poor and the working class, AI gonna knock you out and your replacement, you're gonna be out. Then at your top, you're being pushed down. It's like taking a soda can and putting your foot on it, crunch it. Let me see you work with that and go sell it, put it on the shelf. Nobody gonna want that. That's what's happening to your community. You're being pushed down. It's like you're somebody just taking their foot on the can, just stomp it down. All in the same boat. What? With nothing and no resources, no wealth. So go to that restaurant. Go to that restaurant and let them know you have no resources, no wealth, but you sure are hungry and you want to eat, but you don't have a debit card or no credit card, no cash. I don't think you're going to get a plate. And the plate, it's just an example. That plate is survival. Again, should have been pressed the panic button. But hey, like I said, look who he made the face of the Asian students. And I will never forget that Asian man barely speaking English. I'm like, what? My son become doctor. He become doctor. He done set up a little, and his store was not real nice. It was raggedy, if you ask me. All that stuff in there, it was really kind of raggedy. But his son become doctor. He become doctor. Why? By setting up a beauty supply store in the hood. Like to me, it had foundation problems in the hood and a leaky problem like the roof. Set up in the hood, child. The sisters up in there all the time. Enough money to send his son to become a doctor. Then he shut it down. I think he told me he was selling. Yeah, he was selling everything. I said, okay, yeah, so, stop by selling everything. Next thing you know, I see the boy in the BMW with scrubs on. That he son. He become doctor. He become doctor. So all this money, I mean, seriously, that's why I tell my friends what it looks like the fools of America. You sit up here and can't support your own, but support everybody else that doesn't look like you, and you wonder why your dumb behind is oppressed, the oppressed group. No, but hey, do what the hell you're gonna do. It's not gonna affect me individually. But this is just, it's like, my gosh, this is crazy. Black folks, I ain't gotta shop with no black man. Well, guess what? And when it come to hiring, they can easily say, I ain't gotta have no black person. You keep that in mind. That's what's more likely next. If you think they just gotta work harder, oh my gosh. And if you think it's just that in higher education, don't be surprised if the jobs are next. Well, you're not more qualified. When it's such, they move the goalpost. Oh, you don't have the education. Oh, I see, Keisha. Oh, well, you got the education. That's really great, but we want somebody with more work experience. Yeah, okay, you didn't qualify. Move the goalposts. Oh, I see, but you would like somebody with a master's degree. You got an undergrad. A master's would still be a good idea. Think about going back to getting it. I've actually seen a black woman talk about how she went for a job, had education, but they chose somebody who had more experience. But I'm like, did the person have the same education as you, though? Keep moving the goalposts. So hey, but we don't listen. We can still keep on fighting each other like we normally do. We want to make sure a person don't make any money. We can still keep on doing that. We sure can, and make everybody else rich. That's why I told my homeboy what it looks like. The fools of America should be the label. The fools of America. Support everybody that doesn't look like you, and then gonna sit back and wonder. I can't believe they did. Well, you can't blame them. You a darn lie. Our people really don't understand how a lot of things work. Anyway, my gosh, video went way too long. I gotta go. Let me know what you all think. But Clarence Thomas, he's doing what most black men do. What they say, give a Negro some money, child, he gonna sure act funny. He wants to be, in my opinion, he wants to be just next to daddy so bad to be accepted. He doing what most black men do. They never benefit the community. Very, very few do. Most are hardship. $50 billion liability born boys. And then those same ones, a black man trying to do something positive. Oh Lord, we already know. We already know, baby, it's not looking too good for you. If they don't beat you up and rob you, they'll murk you. So this here, the affirmative action. Oh, people, this right here for higher institutions of learning. This is just the beginning. Again, we sitting up cackling and laughing, sitting up playing. Somebody else is sitting up planning. Let me know what you all think. Feel free to comment, like, dislike, subscribe, and share. Simply said, I'm out. You'll get this on Tuesday because, as you know, I said before, you can show a video of Shanquella Robinson being dragged and beaten. Black boy being due to a conversation, I guess it's in his running his mouth, but he was on a felony, being at the police station, grabbed, slammed against the wall, head slammed on the ground, thrown outside the door like a bag of trash. But if you show two people running their mouth and a white man getting racist, he catching those hands. And then I guess that was my warning. And then Becky, she threw the cat at the black man and the cat whimpers and landed on the ground. Then that can cause you a strike where you can't post up for 1 week. That's what happened to me. So the animal thing that was the besides the warning of the white guy getting those hands because he was running his stupid mouth. He provoked it. That was a warning. Can't show him catching the hands, but you can show a black woman being dragged. Got it. And you can't show the cat being Becky throwing the cat, which it wasn't hurt. But the cat said, "Oh, she threw that cat. That was an act of violence. That was my strike. So I couldn't post up for a week." So I guess I'll see you Tuesday. But I'll be posting up, besides my Patreon, I will be considering some other outlets. So simply said on YouTube, thanks for watching this channel. Your support, it is truly, in the words of Tupac, you are appreciated. And I'm out.